Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiana Osazua, and today we're going to be discussing something very interesting. Okay, in fact, I'm going to be responding to the questions a whole lot of women and young ladies have been asking, and today we're going to be doing justice to it. Okay, so today I'll be teaching you how to calculate your ovulation, and I'll also be teaching you everything you need to know about your menstrual cycle. So before we go straight to the board, let's talk briefly about the importance of your ovulation. So we're going to be discussing why it is very important for you to understand how to calculate your ovulation. Okay, number one, it helps you to assess yourself medically, to know if you are medically fit or if your biological system and your physiological system are in order. Okay, I'll try as much as possible to break the terms down so that everyone who is viewing, irrespective of whether you know much about science or not, you'll be able to follow through and understand. Okay, so just to know if your body is okay as a woman, your reproductive system, if it's functioning properly, one of the ways you can detect that is through ovulation, if you are ovulating properly. So it's very important for you to know that. Okay, because if you are not ovulating, it's there's an issue. Okay, it shows that something is wrong somewhere. You may be having an hormonal imbalance, or you may be having an infection in your body that requires treatment. So it is important for you to ovulate as a young lady or as a woman, as long as you have not reached a menopause. So ovulation is very, very important. Okay, so if you are not ovulating, it means you need medical attention. So that's one. Number two reason why you should understand how to calculate your ovulation is for you to know when to get pregnant and when not to get pregnant, or should I say how to prevent pregnancy. So a lot of people would like to know, understand their ovulation because they want to know when to get pregnant, while others, what they just want is to avoid the pregnancy or prevent the pregnancy, because it's actually better to prevent than after taking in, start saying it's an unwanted pregnancy and then you're looking for means to get rid of it. It's easier this way. It is not every time a woman has sexual intercourse that she gets pregnant. It's not every time a woman meets a man sexually that she gets pregnant. In a cycle, a woman has between 5 to 6 days window. They call it the fertility window. 5 to 6 days period for her to get pregnant. Okay, and if she misses that 5 to 6 days in that cycle, it's till the next cycle. Do you understand? So it's not every time you meet you just get pregnant. Bam. No, there is time. There is a time there is a period within the cycle, which is the fertility period. Thirdly, there are a lot of women who don't like to do family planning, okay, due to the side effects attached to them. Taking drugs same time every day, not everybody can adhere to that. And some they will have to implant something in your arm, upper arm, stuff like that. Some of them, all those 3 months injection, 2 monthly injection, all those stuff. So there are a lot of people who are not comfortable with that. Okay, and they don't want to get pregnant. Probably they are married, or women who are trying to child space. You want to do child spacing. You already have a child and you are not ready to get pregnant again, because there are some women, even if you have a child and the baby is just 1 month, if your cycle has started in the next month or the third month, you're likely to get pregnant again, and you may not be ready for that. You understand? Because you are still nursing a newly born baby and then you are pregnant again. It's really an issue. So it's better to actually prevent. And when you understand how to calculate your ovulation, you will know how to prevent pregnancy. Okay, so if you know, okay, this is my ovulation days is between those days, the date from so date to so date, that this period you have to avoid sexual intercourse, that period, because those periods are not your safe period. That's for those who don't want to get pregnant. Okay, those periods are not your safe period, so you have to avoid sexual intercourse. And if you are not avoiding sexual intercourse, you can take contraceptives, or you can just know what to do within that period to ensure you don't get pregnant. So as long as you know the date, it becomes easier to solve the puzzle. Then For those who want to get pregnant, so their target of understanding their ovulation is to get pregnant, that 5 to 6 days period is your fertile window, is your highest chance of getting pregnant. That's your highest chance of getting pregnant. So you have to take advantage of that window. You have to take advantage of that time. So what you do is to ensure that within that 5 to 6 days you are meeting regularly, okay, because that is the period your egg is released, and there's every chance when the sperm is injected into your body or ejaculated into your body, it will facilitate to meet with the egg and fertilize it. Okay, so that is your own chance of getting pregnant. So that's majorly the importance of why people really need to understand how to calculate their ovulation. So before we go to the board, I would just like you to understand a few things about your body as a woman. Okay, let's take a quick dive into menstrual cycle. Now, just a brief explanation of what the menstrual cycle is about, what happens in your body as a woman every month. Okay, and the menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases. Okay, we have the menstrual phase, we have the follicular phase, we have the ovulatory phase, and we have the luteal phase. And I'm going to be doing a brief explanation of each phase. Okay, now the first is the menstrual phase. The menstrual phase is the phase where there is a shedding of the uterine lining, the endometrium. There's a shedding of the endometrium due to a drop in the hormones. There are some hormones in the body that are responsible for all this regulation, that development of the eggs, secretion of so much happens in our body with hormones. Okay, so the first phase is the menstrual phase. Okay, the menstrual phase has to do with that is when the menstrual cycle begins. That is when you start seeing the blood. Okay, that is when you start saying, okay, you are in your period or you are having your flow. Okay, so this thing usually happens as a result of the shedding of the uterine lining, which is the endometrium. And this one happens if fertilization does not occur. That means if the egg that you released was not fertilized by sperm, maybe you didn't have sexual intercourse or one thing led to another, it wasn't fertilized. So it results in shedding of the uterine lining, and in this shedding of the uterine lining that we all call our menstrual flow. Okay, and this happens from day 1. That starts from first day to day 7, depending on individuals. Okay, some people see their period for 3 days, some 4 days, some 5, some 6, some 7, some even up to 10 days. Okay, so the period length varies. The period length varies depending on individual. Okay, so sister A may have a period length as 3 days. Doesn't mean everybody is having their period length at 3 days. Okay, sister B's own may be 5 days, sister C may be 7 days. It depends, it varies as we vary individually. So our period length varies. Okay, so it's you start counting the menstrual phase from day 1 to, let's say, day 7 of the menstrual cycle. So the next phase we're going to be talking about is the follicular phase. Now, as this phase begins, also you start counting this phase also from day 1, but this time around is from day 1 to day 14. Okay, from day 1 to day 14. What happens between this day 1 to day 14 of the follicular phase? This is when the follicles begins to develop. That is the egg. Every woman has 2 ovaries. Okay, so each ovary has eggs stored inside them, and some hormones which leads to the development of these eggs. And at it gets to a certain time when the egg is matured, all the eggs that are there don't get matured at the same time. Only one egg gets matured per cycle, sometimes 2 eggs, sometimes 3 eggs, as the case may be. Okay, so once these eggs are mature, they get released. But in this follicular phase is the maturation phase of these eggs. They are getting developed and they are getting matured, preparing you for the next phase. Okay, that's what happens in this follicular phase. Then the third phase is the ovulatory phase. Now, after this egg is matured, it is released, it is triggered by some hormones. I think that's the luteinizing fertilizing hormone, which triggers the release of this egg into the fallopian tube, okay, where it waits for sperm to come and fertilize it. Okay, so the release of this egg is called ovulation, and that is when you say you are ovulating or you have ovulated, something like that. Okay, so that's that period when the egg is released from the ovary is called ovulation. That's the third phase of the menstrual cycle, which is the ovulatory phase. The fourth phase is the luteal phase, and this luteal phase is after the ovulation phase. Okay, now when a woman ovulates, she has just about 12 to 24 hours for the released egg to be in the body. She has 12 to 24 hours for the egg to be alive. Now after the egg is released from the ovary and is facilitated into the fallopian tube, okay, it has within 12 to 24 hours to get fertilized. After 24 hours, the egg dies. So you see that in a full month, a woman has maximum 24 hours to get pregnant. So you see, if the egg is not fertilized within that 24 hours, the egg dies, and that's till the next cycle. Okay, so you have missed it for that cycle. So the woman has just 24 hours at most for the egg to be fertilized. So if within that 24 hours the sperm comes in to fertilize her egg, or if there was sperm stored in her body before the egg was released, it gets fertilized. If within the fertilized she has within the 24 hours she has sexual intercourse, the eggs also get fertilized. Okay, so after that 24 hours, if the egg is not fertilized, okay, it's falls back to the phase of the menstrual cycle. That's the follicle that has released the egg. It transforms and then it releases some hormones. There is this hormones called progesterone and the estrogen. Now these hormones begin to prepare the woman for pregnancy, because it believes that, okay, in case this egg gets fertilized, the next thing will be implantation of that egg inside the uterus. Okay, and there is need for the progesterone and the estrogen, those hormones, to be in the maximum quantity so that there will be thickening of the uterine wall. So when the implantation occurs, it will occur well and it will lead to a miscarriage. Do you understand? So this if the egg gets fertilized, that is what happens. It moves towards the uterus and then it gets implanted. But if the egg is not fertilized, the luteal phase will go back to the menstrual phase, and then there will be a shedding of that thickening that has happened, preparing it for pregnancy. That thickening, that lining of the uterine wall, that's the endometrium, that lining of the uterine wall, it will now shed off. Then the shedding off of it now drops as blood, which will now lead to menstruation, because there was no implantation, there was no fertilization. But if fertilization occurs, the luteal phase leads to pregnancy stage. Okay, where there will be implantation and then the development of the zygote, the baby starts getting formed, and then you start experiencing the various stages of pregnancy. Okay, so this is majorly the four phases of the menstrual cycle. Okay, so there is need for you to understand this. So the phase we are going to be looking at majorly today, that I'll be explaining to you, is the ovulation phase. Okay, now let's go back to the ovulation phase. Okay, how will you know you are ovulating? No, this is a question some people ask. Now, what are the symptoms? Are there signs? Are there symptoms to know a woman is ovulating? Yes, there are signs and there are symptoms. And right now, we're going to be discussing them. One of the signs of ovulation, one of the signs or symptoms of ovulation to know you are ovulating is changes in the cervical mucus. Okay, at every point you notice this discharge from your vagina. Okay, and it's coming from your cervix. Okay, and this one, I'm not talking about the discharge you have when you are having candidiasis or yeast infection. No, there is this normal discharge every woman has. It doesn't smell, but you notice it stains your pants, little quantity, sometimes whitish, sometimes slippery, sometimes looks milky, sometimes like pap, different kind of discharge that we see. Okay, and these things happen as a result of the changes in our hormones. So as the hormones are functioning, changing and all of that, we are seeing its effect in cervical mucus. So one of the ways you can know you are ovulating is changes in your cervical mucus, and it depends on the stage, or it depends on the phase you are in your menstrual cycle. Okay, so the major ovulation cervical mucus looks like white, the white part of raw egg. So if you break raw egg, the part without the yolk, the way it looks slippery, like a mucus, like catarrh, stuffs like that, like that catarrh kind of mucus. Okay, so if you have such discharge, is a sign that what you are ovulating. The second way to know you are ovulating is there's increase in your basal body temperature. You don't notice you're not having fever, you're not feeling headache, you're not having any symptoms of malaria, typhoid, or any ailment, but you don't notice that there's this increase in your basal body temperature. Your body is just hot, especially at night. You'll notice that your body is hot, your temperature is increased and is high, but you're not having any other associated symptoms. That's also a likely symptom of ovulation. Number 3 symptoms of ovulation is breast tenderness. Okay, this breast tenderness, you sometimes you feel like it's full, you feel like it's heavy, then the nipple is tender, is sensitive, it becomes more sensitive, and you feel tenderness of the breast. So that's another symptom of ovulation. Then the fourth symptom of ovulation is changes in libido. At that point of ovulation, most women usually have the urge for sexual intercourse. Okay, most women have urge for sexual intercourse during their ovulation. Okay, because of the hormones. There's a way the hormones trigger in your system, and it makes you have the urge to want to meet with your husband. Then another symptom is what we call the abdominal or pelvic pain. Okay, this one is very common. A lot of people feel it during ovulation. Some people call it ovulation pain. Okay, you feel this kind of sharp pain. It's sharp, this sharp, sometimes biting, sometimes prickly, sharp pain below your abdomen. Okay, either on the right side, on the left side, or even in the middle below the abdomen. You feel that pain. So another way people use in detecting their ovulation, that one is also very, very good. It's like one sure way, 80% correct, or 80% sure way to show that you are ovulating or not is by using OPK, that is ovulation prediction kit. Okay, now this ovulation prediction kit helps you to know if you are ovulating or not. But the problem is a lot of people don't know how to use this kit, and they don't even know when to use this kit. So even when you use the kit, okay, it looks like this pregnancy test kit. When you use the kit and you see 2 lines, some people feel when they see 2 lines they're ovulating. No, it's not by saying 2 lines. Okay, so you seeing 2 lines doesn't mean you are ovulating, because whether you are ovulating or not, you will see 2 lines. Although that depends on the kind of ovulation strip you get. Okay, but there is a major way to detect if by using the strip to know if you are ovulating or not. Okay, then if you would like me to do a video on how to use OPK, how to use ovulation prediction kit, how to use it properly, and to recommend a very good one for you that you can use, just drop it in the comment section below, and I'm going to do a video as regards that. Just say, okay, do a video on OPK, do a video on OPK, or do a video explaining OPK. Just drop a comment like that, and if I see a large number of people commenting, I will do the video. I tell you, you are really going to like it. Okay, so if you want me to do that video, just drop it in the comment section below. Okay, so using OPK is also another way to detect if you are ovulating or not. All right, so let's we can now go to the board. Let me explain properly. Let me teach you using a calendar. Let me just teach you how to calculate your ovulation. Okay, you're welcome back to the board section. Okay, and this is where I'm going to be doing the explanation. I'll be teaching you how to calculate your ovulation. I will simplify it, so I tell you, by the time you understand what I'm going to be doing on this board, you are not going to have issues with calculating your ovulation again. So you will just know it, believe me. Okay, because I'm going to simplify it. All right, so okay, now so what we have here is cycle length. This CL here means cycle length. Okay, so what is the meaning of cycle length? Cycle length is what is the frequency or the duration of your cycle, the frequency of your cycle. Is it every 28 days? Is it every 30 days? Is it every 35 days? Is it every 25 days? It differs as per individual. Okay, there are some women that see their cycle every 25 days. There are some that have short cycle. Okay, short cycle could be every 24 days, every 25 days. It doesn't mean your own is abnormal. So you see people with short cycle, you find out that sometimes you see your period twice a month. Doesn't mean it's abnormal. Okay, so I will tell you how to know if it's normal or not. Even though you see your period twice a month, there are some cases where it is normal. Then what causes it is usually short cycle. So people with short cycle may see it like that. Okay, so there are people with short cycle length. Okay, and that's 24, 25, 26, 27. So we have the average cycle length, which is 28, 29, 30. Okay, so your cycle length is every, you see your cycle every month, but it's not really every month like that, because when you say every month, you mean every 30 days or every 31 days. So your own may be every 24 days, your friend's own may be every 25 days, your sister's own may be every 35 days, your mommy's own may be every 27 days, your auntie's own may be every 28 days. So it differs. So that's what we need in order to calculate ovulation. One major requirement is the cycle length. Please don't joke with cycle length. Okay, once you understand your cycle length, once you understand your cycle length, you already know how to calculate your ovulation. So this PL here is period length. This period length is how many days does your cycle last? That is period length. Is it 3 days period? Is it 4 days flow? Is it 5 days? Is it 6 days? Is it 7? Is it 10? As the case may be. Like I said, it differs as individuals differ. So this period length is what is the duration of your period. Some women will see their own for 3 days. After 3 days, they are done with their period. Some women 4 days, they are done. Some 6, some 7. Okay, so that is period length. So, but in the calculation of this ovulation, we don't really need this period length. We don't need period length. Our focus is on cycle length. Okay, so once you can understand your cycle length, you will have an understanding of your ovulation. So this cycle length, okay, so how do you know your cycle length? Somebody may ask, okay, how do I get my cycle length? How do I even know if my own is every 28 days? I've never counted it. How do I know if my own is every 30 days? It's very simple. Okay, let me teach you how to know. All right, so at least for 3 months or more. That's why I said at least 3 months, but you can do it for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. You know what you'll be doing? Each time you see your cycle, please have a calendar, either a digital calendar in your phone or a physical calendar you put on your wall at home. So when you see your cycle, what do? If today is on the 9th of May, for example, you saw your cycle day 1. What you do every day 1 of your cycle, the first day you see your cycle, go to your calendar. You cycle that date. Then wait till the next time you see your cycle again. If it's in the following month, mark that date. If day 1, that's the first day of that following month that you are seeing your cycle, what do? Circle that date. Then on the 3rd month, the first day of your cycle in the 3rd month, what do? Circle that date. Then the 4th month, the first day of your cycle, the first day of your menstrual flow in that 4th month, also cycle it. Do the same thing in the 5th month, in the 6th month, and so on, like that, all through the year if possible. Okay, but if you can successfully do it for just 3 months, you'll be able to know your cycle length. So what do? You calculate if the day you saw this one on this first month is on the 1st. On the 1st of January, for example, then in February, let's say this is January, the 1st of January, you saw your menstrual flow on the 1st of January. Then this is February. Okay, in February, you saw your period on the let's say on the 1st of January, right? Then in February, you also saw your period on the 1st of February. Then in March, you saw your period on the 2nd of March. In April, you saw it you saw it, let's say, on the 1st of April. Depend, just anytime you see it, just cycle it. This is what you will do. You pick a calendar. Now you will count the days that is lying between 1st of February to 1st of January to 1st of February. That's from that 1st of January, you will count that 1st as day 1. For example, if we want to use this calendar now, let me make this easy for us. Okay, now let me use this May. I have May 2024 calendar here on the board. Let me use it to teach you cycle length. Okay, because if you don't understand the cycle length, there's no need going further to teach ovulation. So the first thing you must understand, and that is the major requirement, is cycle length. Okay, now look at it. Let's assume you have you saw your period on the 1st of May. Okay, then if you are somebody that your own is 25 days, every 25 days is your cycle. How will you know your cycle is 25 days? Look at it. You saw it on the 1st of May that month. This same month of May, you still saw your period on the 25th. You know, that's why I was telling you that some people can see their period twice in a month. That means your period is, you have a 25-day cycle. You saw it on the 1st and you saw it on the 25th again. Now let's count the days between 1st and 25th. So this is how you know. When you mark, you cycle the date of the 1st month and you cycle the date of the 2nd month, or your 1st cycle and your 2nd cycle. People call it month, but it's more correct if you say cycle. Okay, so this is day 1 of my 1st cycle. This is day 1 of my 2nd cycle. I saw it on the 1st in May. I'm seeing it on the 25th again in May. Now this is what you do. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now this shows that you have a 25-day cycle. Now let me tell you when you will be expecting your next cycle. If you are the type that has a 25-day cycle, let's continue. Now this is 25th, Abby. So this is still 25th of May. You have seen your 2nd cycle. Now let's count when you will see your 3rd cycle. Now this is still May. Now count 1. Remember, when you are counting the 1st day of your period, you must count it as 1. So it is 1. It is not the 2nd day you start counting as 1. This is not mathematics. This is ovulation calculation. Okay, it's the 1st day you count as 1. So let's go now. The 1st day is 25th. Now let's count to know when we'll see our next period. If you are the one that have cycle of every 25 days. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're through with May. Now let's assume this is June. Okay, after May is June. So although this is still May calendar, okay, but let's take it as is June. So we have counted 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Meaning on the 18th of June, you will see your period again. You will see your 3rd cycle. So are you getting it? So when you count, remember we counted from May, 1st of May to 25th of May is 25 days interval. You saw it in May on the 1st. You still saw it your 1st cycle. Your 2nd cycle, you still saw it in May, on the 25th of May as your 2nd cycle. We counted the days in between and we saw that it's 25 days. So that's to tell you that, oh, my cycle is likely to be a 25-day cycle. But in order to be sure again, just hold on. When you now see your period in June, you will now count again. So let's assume you now saw your period in June on the 18th of June. What you have to do is, since we have counted from 1st to 25th of May, count this 25th of May to 18th of June. Let's assume this one is June. So you will see that it will still fall in that 25 days, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Are you seeing it? So the next time you will see your period again, just count 25 days from this 18th of June. You will know when you see your next period. Okay, let's count it. But then after June, it will be July. So let's assume we're in June calendar now. We'll move to July. Okay, count 18. 18th, this 18th of June will not count it as day 1 because you are seeing your period. The 1st day of the period is day 1. So you count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Meaning on the 11th of July, you will see your next cycle. So are you seeing that most people that usually say, my cycle is not regular, I know they meet dates, it doesn't follow date, my cycle doesn't follow date. It doesn't have to follow date. You can have a regular cycle that is not following date. What matters is your cycle length. Your friend's own may be following date because of his or her cycle length, okay? But your own may not follow date if you have a short cycle length or a longer cycle length. It depends on your cycle length. So if you look at it now from what we calculated, we calculated first cycle. First cycle. Oh, my marker. First cycle is we calculate 1st of May. On the 1st of May is first cycle, okay? Then the second cycle was 25th of May, second cycle. The third cycle was 18th of June, third cycle. The fourth cycle, 11th of July, fourth cycle. So are you seeing it? 1st of May, 25th of May again, 18th of June, and 11th of July. The date does not look like it's rhyming, but your cycle is very regular, because when you count the days interval between all these dates, you will find out that it's 25 days that is separating them. That's to tell you you have a 25 days cycle length. So I just use 25 days to give example. Your own may be 30 days. Is the same formula. So since we are counting 25 days interval, your own is 30 days. So if you are a 30-day cycle length person, when you see your period on the 1st, it is the next 30 days you will see your next period, which is going to be 30th of May. If you are a 35 days cycle length person, if you see your period on the 1st, the next 35 days is when you will see your next period. So all you have to do is that don't worry first, just be marking the days in the calendar. When you mark the days in the calendar in each month, then count the days that is separating them, count the days in between. You already know your cycle length. From day 1 of that first day to day 1 of the second day is your cycle length. You will still count the day 1 of your second day, day 1 of the first day of the month, day 1 of the first cycle to day 1 of your second cycle. The number of days that lies in between them is your cycle length. I have overemphasized this because I want you to understand it, and I hope you do now. Okay, so that's just how to get cycle length. Now, another thing not to confuse you is that your cycle length, it may not be perfectly 25 days or perfectly 30 days all through. Now, take note of this. It is usually plus or minus 2 days or even 3 days, okay? So it's usually plus or minus 2 days. Let's use plus or minus 2 days. What does that mean? It means if you count it this month, from the first day of your cycle, of your first cycle to the first day of your second cycle, for example, it gives you 25 days. Then you find out that from the first day of your second cycle to the first day of your third cycle, it gives you 26 days. And you're wondering, why is it not also 25? Don't worry, it's okay. Always remember plus or minus 2 days. At most, it can be plus or minus 1 day, plus or minus 2 days, plus or minus 3 days. If you do this cycle I mentioned, as you cycle the days in your calendar for 1 year, you will find that the one that has the most recurring number of days is your cycle length. Maybe between January to February, between February to March, between March to April, April to May, May to June, June to July. When you count all the days interval between when you saw your cycle, and you find out that it is 25 days that it is occurring more, know that you have a 25-day cycle. If you notice that it is 30 days that occurs more, because sometimes you will count it to be 29 days. If you are a 30-day cycle person, sometimes you will count, you will see it's 29. Sometimes you will count it's 30. Sometimes you will count it's 31. Sometimes you will count is 32. It's okay. It's still within range. It's very okay. Doesn't mean you have a problem. No, it's okay. What matters is that just keep counting. The one that is most regular, that is your average cycle length. Do you understand? Okay? So you see that when you do the difference by yourself, you can tell your cycle length. But in case you don't want to wait up to a year, just do 3 months. Count the days in between, and you already have your cycle length. So please, let's move forward. I don't know why I just still feel like emphasizing the cycle length, because without it you won't even understand the next phase we're about to enter. Okay, but so let me believe you already understand cycle length. Okay, so now let's go to the main ovulation calculation itself. All right, so if okay, we're going to be using 30 days cycle for our example, or let's use a 28 day cycle for as example. Okay, now for somebody, if in fact, just know that when you know your cycle length, I want to give you the formula of ovulation. Cycle length divided by 2 is the formula of your ovulation. And the formula for ovulation is equal to cycle length divided by 2. And see why I was laying emphasis on you understanding your cycle length. Now, when you know your cycle length is every 30 days, for example, your ovulation is 30 days divided by 2, which is 15. For somebody who has 30 days cycle, so you say 30 over 2, which is equal to what? 15. So this 15 here is your ovulation, meaning your ovulation day is the 15th day of your cycle. The 15th day of your cycle. Okay, for example, now let me use this one now as example. Ovulation is cycle length divided by 2. Somebody whose cycle length is 30, it will not be cycle length, which is 30 divided by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Okay, 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now let's use the calendar to calculate it. If the person saw her period on the, let me use 9th, today now is 9th of May, and you saw your period on the 9th of May, day 1, the flow started on the 9th of May. Okay, now how do you know your ovulation day? After the if your cycle is a 30 days cycle length and your flow started on the 9th of May, how do you calculate your ovulation day? Very simple. Now we have been told that ovulation is equal to cycle length divided by 2, which is 30 days divided by 2. If your own is 30, or this 30 is not the formula, the cycle length is the formula, so you must know your cycle length. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm just using 30 for an example here. Now 30 divided by 2 is 15, meaning the 15th day is your ovulation day. Now let's count up to 15. You now start counting from the day 1 of your period, which is 9th of May. So this is day 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you see this day I cycled on the 23rd of May is your ovulation day. If you are somebody whose cycle length is 30 days and you started seeing your flow, the first day of your flow was on the 9th of May, you are going to ovulate on the 23rd of May. Now, but because there are varieties and hormonal imbalances, hormonal changes, one or two things may happen in our hormonal system, we don't cling on to that. So that's why you call it a fertile window. You call it ovulation period. Although this is your peak day of fertility, if you are trying to conceive on this 23rd, there is every likelihood that your egg is released and ready to be fertilized by sperm. Okay, but because we can't just hold on to one day like that, because it is a biological stuff, what do? We add 2 days after, 2 days before. Do you understand? 2 days after, 2 days before. Because anything could happen. There may be a surge in your hormone, there could be a trigger that may trigger it even before your ovulation day. So if you're expecting your ovulation day to be on the 23rd, it may go and happen on the 22nd. Maybe there's a surge in the hormone, something just happens in your body, and then the egg gets released on the 22nd, and you are waiting that it's on the 23rd you have sexual intercourse. I tell you have missed it, because before that 23rd, 24 hours the egg is dead. Do you understand? So that is why we do 2 days backward, meaning in case anything happens in your body, but there's every likelihood that it won't happen before 2 to 3 days backward. So we now take it 2 days backward. So you see it, mark 2 days backward. Okay, and then 2 days forward. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you see, from on the 21st to on the 25th of May is what they call fertile window. So this is your fertile window. This is your fertility period. This is your ovulation period. Meaning, no matter what happens, even if the thing there was a slow, your body was slow in that particular cycle and it didn't get triggered, your ovulation was not triggered on the 23rd, it can go and happen on the 24th or happen on the 25th. Maybe something made it late or something made it too early. So it may not be this exact day, but this exact day is the most likelihood day. But for whatever reasons it comes before then, you are covered. For whatever reasons it comes after that day, you are still covered. And that is why we have it as fertile window or fertility period. So this is your fertility period. Now for a woman who wants to get pregnant, who is trying to get pregnant, what do? You see, this 5 days now, you must take advantage of it. You are to start meeting from on the 21st to on the 25th. Okay, if possible, it depends on how you need it. Okay, if possible, every day make sure you have sexual intercourse. There is no how you have sexual intercourse within these 5 days that the sperm that has entered your body within these 5 days will not meet the egg that will fall within these 5 days as well. So within these 5 days, your egg will be present. If you are somebody who has a 30-day cycle and your period started on the 9th of May, from on the 21st of May to on the 25th of May is your ovulation period. That is to tell you that within these 5 days, your egg must be released. And if you have sexual intercourse within these 5 days, there will be sperm to go and fertilize that egg, and then you will get pregnant. Then if you are somebody who is trying to avoid pregnancy, you don't want to get pregnant, it's the same thing. So what do? You just know that these 5 days you are not safe, because these 5 days your egg are present to be fertilized. If you have sexual intercourse within these 5 days, you will get pregnant. So what do? You avoid sexual intercourse. When you avoid sexual intercourse, ensure that you or if you did not avoid sexual intercourse, maybe you had 1 or 2 reasons you have to meet. Maybe you're a married woman and oga says, I want it to, so, and you don't have choice, oga will not use a raincoat. So what will you do? You say yes sir. After you say yes sir, you go and take care of yourself. How do you take care of yourself? Within this 5 days period. Okay, it also depends. Now contraceptive can help you in this case. Contraceptive, those of you that say you use salt and water, me, I don't know where you got the theory of salt and water. If you think salt and water works a lot, please let me see it in the comment section, because I know in Nigeria we have a lot of doctors, a lot of pharmacists, and a lot of self-invented doctors, self-invented pharmacists that know everything. Okay, some will say it's happy clause be charm. All right. Okay, so whatever you think would help, to avoid, if a woman who does not want to get pregnant and she has sexual intercourse within this cycle, maybe because she had to say yes sir to oga, what do you think she can do to help herself? Let me see it in the comment section. Okay, let me see it in the comment section. Whatever you have used that has worked for you, feel free. You're not a shy person, you can drop it in the comment section. Other people can learn. Okay, but really, medically, I'm not I don't believe the salt and water or happy clause with sham kind of a thing. Okay, there is a contraceptive. There's something they call emergency contraceptive pill. Okay, this emergency contraceptive pill helps to quickly, what it does, sometimes it delays the ovulation. Okay, it helps to delay ovulation so that the sperm that has entered your body will get expired from your body before your egg is released. Sperm, that's why those of you that don't want to get pregnant, that's why it is to catch you. do. Sperm, it is not that day that is ejaculated inside your body that you go and urinate, say all of them has gone, or because you drank Andrew liver salt, or because you drank salt and water, oh, it is gone. No, the sperm cells are very stubborn. Oh, hey, this is those ones that want to come to life, they want to be born. Jesus, there's just nothing you can do about them, I'm telling you. So they will stay there, kakaka. If you like, drink all the drinkable, they are there waiting for your egg to be released. Once the egg is released, fire, bam, they fire down, they catch it. That's what they do. So this is what contraceptive emergency contraceptive pills will help you do. It will delay the ovulation so that the egg, the sperm would have expired, because sometimes the sperm stays alive, sperm cells stay alive in the body for 3 days, and sperm cells stay alive in the body for 5 days. Okay, 3 to 5 days they can stay alive. There are some that after that 1 day they are gone actually, and maybe a hair. But in most cases, or in some cases, sperm cells live for about 3 to 5 days in the body. And imagine if they stay up to 5 days in the body, and within that 5 days they see an egg that is released, they'll fertilize it. So that is why it's better to avoid. And if you cannot avoid, you immediately use contraceptive pill, and depends on the time you are even using it. Okay, if you use it too close, if you have intercourse too close to your ovulation day, sometimes the contraceptive pills may fail. That's another topic. Okay, the popular postinor 2, you guys know it now. You know it. Okay, so those that use postinor 2, you know, it's not every time you use postinor 2 that it works. Now postinor 2 is being abused. You people don't know how to use it. A lot of people don't know how to use it, when to use it, when not to use it. You just think postinor 2 is an everyday emergency pill. It's not an everyday emergency pill. We have everyday sorry, it's not an everyday contraceptive pills. We have everyday contraceptive pill, and we have emergency contraceptive pill. Postinor 2 is not an everyday contraceptive pill. It is an emergency contraceptive pill, and there are rules and regulations attached to emergency contraceptive pills. You don't use them anyhow. That's why they don't work. So that you'll be wondering, but I use postinor 2, how come I still got pregnant? Yes, you will still get pregnant because you broke the rules. Okay, so if you like me to do a video on postinor 2, you know, the side effects of postinor 2, how to use postinor 2, when to use postinor 2, when not to use postinor 2, whether is postinor 2 really effective, does postinor 2 terminate pregnancy, does postinor 2 prevent pregnancy, anything you want to know about postinor 2, please just put it in the comment section below. Drop it in the comment section below, and I will gladly do a video on postinor. I'm a pharmacist, so I will tell you everything you want to know about postinor. So okay, we are custodians of drugs, so we know about drugs a lot. Okay, so don't let those your environmental doctors deceive you. Those neighbor doctor, estate doctor, all those ones all those self-made doctors, they can say a whole lot of things. Use post. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Calm down. There is a way to go about this thing. Okay, so if you like to know about postinor, you want me to do a video on it, let me see it in the comment section. Maybe that will be my next video, or my next video. Okay, depending on how I see people. If you are eager, if the masses are eager, if there are a lot of people who are eager to know about it, I'll do a video on it. So okay, let's go back to the topic. Okay, so this is virtually how to calculate your ovulation. This is how to know your fertile window. This is how to know your ovulation period. So I use an example of somebody with a 30-day cycle. Okay, I will do another example. Maybe I'll do 3 examples. This is one. I'll do second one. I'll do the third one. By the time I've done these 3 examples, if you don't understand it, what safe? If you don't understand it after 3 examples, we'll need to check you. So let's go to the second example. Okay, all right, always remember this formula in your head. Ovulation is equal to cycle length divided by 2. So I know my cycle length, I divide it by 2, I know my ovulation day. 2 days back from my ovulation day, 2 days after my ovulation day, adding the 5 days together makes my ovulation period. Simple. A nursery school student can say this rhyme I just said just now. All right, so let's use a 28-day cycle as example this time around. Okay, somebody who has a cycle length of 28 days. Now if your cycle length is you have a 28-day cycle length, and you saw your period on the let's assume you saw your period on the 14th. you saw your period on the 14th of May. Okay, period. This period, this period, you saw your period on the 14th of May. Remember, you have a 28-day cycle, and that's why I said you must follow your cycle and before you even think about calculating your ovulation. So when you have a 28-day cycle length and you notice that today is May 14, period started, that's day 1 of period. Okay, that's the day 1 of your period. Now let's do the formula. 28 divided by 2 is what? Is 14. Okay, 28 divided by 2 is 14. So your cycle length 28 divided by 2, 14, meaning on the 14th day of your cycle is likely to be your ovulation period, your ovulation day. So now let's count it. The first day of your period, you must always count it as day 1. Don't forget that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Meaning on the 27th of May is your ovulation day. Let's count it again. You started seeing it day 1 on the 14th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You see? So on day 27 is likely to be your ovulation day. Meaning if all things being equal, all things goes well in your body, on the 27th of May, you will ovulate. You will ovulate, okay? So if you have sexual intercourse that day, you are likely to get pregnant. If you have sexual intercourse before that day, you are likely to get pregnant. If you have sexual intercourse after that day, you are also likely to get pregnant. Okay, that's why they call this period. Now let's do the normal thing. 2 days backward, meaning from on the 25th, from on the 25th of May to 2 days after, 1, 2, to on the 29th of May is your ovulation period. Okay, that's this it. Do you understand? But 25th is part of it, okay, because it's 2 days before your ovulation day that you calculated, and 2 days after your ovulation day. This is the ovulation day we calculated, 27th. 2 days before 27th is 25 and 26. Okay, so 25, 26, 27th. 2 days after, 28, 29. So 25th, 26th, 27th, 28, 29 is your ovulation period. So if you're somebody who has a 28-day cycle length, just know that every 14th day from day 1 of your cycle is your ovulation day. Count 2 days backward, count 2 days forward. That is your ovulation period. Very simple. Just like this, 2 days backward, 25, 26, 2 days forward, 28, 29, 27 is the ovulation day. So if you are looking for the fruit of the womb or you are trying to get pregnant, ensure you start having sexual intercourse from on the 25th. If possible, have it every day. Have it every day. Okay, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. Okay, have it every day. Use all the various style. But let me just give you this for those of you that are trying to get pregnant, please excuse me, use a deep penetration style. Okay, deep penetration style, like the doggy, like the doggy style is very good for those that are trying to get pregnant. Why? Because of deep. Now when you have a deep penetration and then your husband ejaculates into you, it gives the sperm cells a fast head start. Do you understand? A fast head start. Once the thing is deep and they give, just go pew. Do you get it? Like, it will give it a fast head start. They start running fast towards the egg, so that if the egg wanted to just die or disappear, they will quickly fertilize it. Do you get it? They'll quickly fertilize it. Now, so there is very easy. It's very important for you to know your ovulation day, because if you miss it, that's a problem. Many people have been missing it. Okay, a lot of people that are trying to get pregnant that are not getting pregnant, and many of them is just because they are missing this calculation. They are missing this day. They are not getting their ovulation day. Okay, so every other thing may be right with you. You are okay, you're ovulating, your husband's sperm cells are okay, everything is fine. Just that by the time you people meet, is that the egg has not come, so the sperm will not die before the egg will come, or the egg has come and before the sperm gets to the egg already died, because a woman's egg can only survive for 24 hours and a man's sperm can survive for up to 5 days. A man's sperm cells can survive for up to 5 days, but a woman's egg has only maximum of 24 hours, 1 day to survive. So if you miss that 24 hours, is still the next cycle, and if in the next cycle you miss the 24 hours again, the next cycle, and that's how it goes. And that's the fact that many people have been trying to get this thing and they are not getting it. Okay, now if you are watching this video and you are a TTC mom, I mean TTC, trying to get pregnant mom, or you are trying to get the fruit of the womb, by the grace of God, God has blessed me with 3 kids. So, okay, I have 3 kids already. So what I'm explaining, all these things I'm telling you, I have practiced it. It has worked. It is working very well for me. Okay, I don't use all those contraceptive stuff or all those family planning. Do you understand? So how I did my child spacing, it was through this calculation ovulation. You understand? So it's very simple, very easy. So if you need extra mentorship on this, okay, you need extra mentorship on how to calculate your ovulation, you can reach out to me. Okay, I'll be dropping my email. Reach out to me via email. I'll be dropping my email. Just send me a mail and I will give you another means to reach me more closely. Okay, so send me a mail if you need mentorship on stuffs like this. You want to know about your body, you want to understand your how to calculate this better, because although I feel I've done justice to this, or you want you want me to help you do the calculation. You are not going to have time for all these things I'm saying. You just want me to be doing the calculation. You provide me your cycle length. You want me to be doing the calculation for you and be sending you your ovulation days. Reach out to me, okay? I'm going to be dropping the email in the description of this video. So this is very, very important, okay? So I've done second example. Before I do the last example, I want to talk to women who are trying to get pregnant. Okay, I'm organizing a course. I'm preparing a course that if you follow everything in this course, also with my own personal mentorship, okay, I'm going to be holding you by the hand. I will hold you by the hand. My personal mentorship with the course I've also prepared, put together. I tell you, you are going to get a positive result in the nearest time possible. Okay, in the nearest time possible. The problem most people have is that they don't have anybody to mentor them on things like this. Even their gynecologists, they can't reach. Their doctors, they can't reach. Okay, or you can reach out to me. If you're able to reach out to me, I'm preparing a course, and that course is going to be massive, mind-blowing, like is loaded, and it's not just the course. You have my mentorship, you have my my support, you can reach out to me anytime, talk to me. I'm going to be giving you a line where you can reach me, ask all your questions, get all the guidance you want until you get a positive result. I'm not going to leave you until we celebrate, until we see that so nice, until we see that positive in that blood test. Bam, I'm not going to leave you. So if you're like that and you're interested, okay, also reach out to me via the email I'll be dropping in the link below. Reach out to me via the email. Once you can send me a mail, I'll be able to send you a line to reach out to me, and I'll tell you all the terms and conditions apply. Okay, terms and conditions apply. Please take notes for those of you that want to reach out to me. Terms and conditions apply. But all right, let's go to the third example. So the third example, we're going to be using someone with let's use a 35 days cycle length. Those that have a large cycle length. Since we have used shorter cycle length, we use 30 days, we use 20 days. Let's use 35 days cycle length. Okay, now somebody that has a 35 days cycle length, now 35 divided by 2, Remember, it's cycle length divided by 2. 35 divided by 2, I think that should be about 17.5, okay, if I'm not mistaken. That should be about 17.5. So there's no 17.5 days, there's no points, anything in calendar, right? So you can just pick 17th day or the 18th day. So you pick these 2 days, the 17th and the 18th day, meaning you are likely to ovulate in between these 2 days or in either of these 2 days, okay? So well, remember, we're working with the 17th and the 18th day for somebody who has a 35-day cycle length. Now, let's assume the person who has a 35-day cycle length started period on the 10th of May. On the 10th of May is day 1 of period. So what do we do? Let's count. What are we counting? Counting up to 17 and 18, which is the middle of the, we're trying to get the ovulation now, the middle of the cycle. Okay, let's go now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Are you seeing it? Somebody who has a 35-day cycle length that started seeing period on the 10th, and somebody who has a 28-day cycle length and started seeing period on the 14th, you see that they ovulate the same day. They will ovulate the same day. So imagine these 2 sets of people are married to one man now. For all those polygamous people, you find out that in the same day we impregnate his 2 wives. If we impregnate his 2 wives in the same day, they will get pregnant the same time. But they did not see their period the same time. Be wondering, this one will say, I saw my period a week before this person. Now they didn't see their period the same time, but they ovulated the same time. What is to cause that kind of a thing? Cycle length. Okay, so now this person has a 35-day cycle length and started seeing period on the 10th of May. We did the ovulation calculation, which is cycle length divided by 2. We got 17th and the 18th day because 17.5. So we're using the 2 days. So we start counting. The day 1 of your period, you start counting it as the first day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So you see, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so that's all right. My board, don't fall. Okay, so that's on the 26th and on the 27th, that person is likely to ovulate. So what do? Is the same formula. Okay, so for this person, since we are looking at 26th and 27th, person can still take 2 days backward, 2 days forward. Just like the person who cannot be 6 days, it's still okay, it's still in the period. So 2 days backward from 26th is 24th. So meaning from on the 24th, 2 days forward from 27th is 29. So from on the 24th to 29th is the person's ovulation period. So if you are seeing you have a 35-day cycle length, okay, and your period started on the 10th of May, on the 24th and you want to get pregnant, start having sexual intercourse on the 24th of May. From on the 24th of May down to 29th of May. Okay, so for those of you we say, it's not easy to just be having this intercourse every day. Every day just be having, it's not easy. Good, there's still a formula for you. Okay, if you're not going to have this intercourse every day, do it this way, it will still work. If you start meeting on the 24th, meet on the 24th. You can skip 25th. Okay, the sperm that was released, the sperm that was ejaculated into your body on the 24th, on the 25th it will still be in your body, most likely. So even if you don't meet on the 25th and you ovulate that 25th, it's okay. There is still sperm available to fertilize the egg. So what you now come and do on the 26th, make sure you meet again. So you can skip a day interval, skip a day in between, meet every other day. If you cannot meet every day, meet every other day. Okay, so you skip 25th, you meet on the 26th, you skip 27th, meet on the 28th, skip you can skip 29 or meet on the last day 29. Okay, but it's advised to meet, take advantage of that period to meet as often as possible, as often as possible. Okay, it's very, very important, very important. Okay, all right, so we have used the 3 examples. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. I will reply your question. Okay, for those of you who want to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me. But if you have question on this topic, on this calculation, I'll try as much as possible to answer every question that is asked. Okay, so I will answer your questions. So I hope I have done justice to it. To calculate your ovulation, let me summarize. Number one, know your cycle length. After you have known your cycle length, know this formula. What is the formula? Ovulation formula. And that is what? Cycle length divided by 2. So once you know your cycle length divided by 2, whatever you get is your ovulation day. So if you get 15, that 15th day is your ovulation day. The 15th day doesn't mean 15th of the month. So the 15th day starting from the day you started your period. If your own is 28 day cycle length, the 14th day starting from the day you started seeing your period is your ovulation day. So to know the ovulation period, like I explained, anything could trigger and happen in the body. You may not ovulate that day you calculated, but at most it's going to be 2 days after or 2 days before. So you count it 2 days after, 2 days before. You just know that that is your ovulation period. If you also want to prevent pregnancy, that is the period to run away from sexual intercourse. Okay, or to use the appropriate contraceptive. All right, thank you very much. If there's any other topic you'd like me to talk about as regards something like this, any topic you want me to do clarification on or do justice on, any topic you're interested in, you want to learn more about, okay, you can still drop it in the comment section below and I will do justice to it. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video to the end. I hope you have learned a lot about menstrual cycle, about the symptoms, signs and symptoms of ovulation, and also about how to calculate your ovulation. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have learned, and if you still have questions, please drop them in the comment section. Like I said, I'm going to answer your questions. If you need to reach out to me, you can use the email I dropped in the link of this video. Just check the description of the video. You see my email, and then you can send me email and I will also reply and reach out to you. I will see you in my next video. Have a blessed day. Bye.